do we want to just spend a little bit of time talking about today's interview subject, the behavioural question scenario, maybe everyone's worst nightmare, but also a great opportunity to excel?
Absolutely. No, behavioural interviews, and we were talking about this a little bit before the show, Keith, is probably one of the most confusing for people because they really have absolutely no idea what a behavioural interview is, and then more importantly, how to prepare for a behavioural interview. And the feedback that I've received from recruiters, employers, and even clients as well is that there's an indication that numerous job seekers are consistently failing to bring to the table the correct response that a recruiter or an employer is looking for, and therefore they screen themselves out of the running. Now, I guess job seekers don't understand the basic fundamentals of what a behavioural interview is, so therefore they're not providing the correct responses, and they're also failing to position themselves as a top contender for the role. So in all the areas there, they're getting crosses against their name, which is really unfortunate. So if you're listening into the show today and you're finding that you're getting quite a consistent number of interview knockbacks, it may just be because the behavioural interview questions that interviewers are incorporating into the interview, you're just not answering them correctly. Yeah.
For someone who's not familiar with the term behavioural interview or the behavioural interview question, can you explain what that means, what that looks like or what that sounds like?
You just read my mind, yeah. So what is a behavioural interview? Well, behavioural interview is really based on the psychology that how you have dealt with something in the past, so your actions, your behaviour, will indicate how you will act in the future if you are ever presented with the same problem or issue or working on a similar project. And so when they ask you a behavioural-based interview, you really need to show them how you have behaved in the past or acted in the past through an actual example in the workplace. And so that is how you really do need to demonstrate your ability to perform and use that competency or handle the problem, all those sorts of things, through how you've handled that before. Now, we have got a great method, a great acronym that we coach all our clients in using. It's going to support you in developing concise and very powerful examples to be able to speak about within an interview. So if you haven't got a pen and paper handy, go and grab one now, or you can also download us a little bit later on and replay this so that you can write down this acronym. Now, the acronym...
And this actually might be, I might say, Annemarie, this would be a good thing to put in your next newsletter. The CAR principle, the acronym that we're going to mention, a little step-by-step principle, might be a great thing to put in your next newsletter as well as our YouTube posts and blogging.
Absolutely. We'll certainly do that. And if anyone has any further questions, please send them through to the AskAdvancedEmploymentConcepts.com website, and we can send you the information. Or alternatively, if you want to go straight to the source, get a copy of 10 Key Steps to Ace That Interview ebook or book, and we've got this laid out quite specifically with examples and so on. Now, the acronym is CAR, C-A-R. Now, the C stands for challenge, the A stands for action, and the R stands for result. Now, what the challenge is, it provides a bit of context for the interviewer. It's the story. What was happening? What situation were you in? What problem were you faced with? So it's providing them a couple of sentences about the context, what was happening. The A is where you provide the interviewer with an understanding of what you specifically did. For instance, did you suggest some initiatives how to overcome that particular issue or problem? Did you implement a particular process which you devised within the workplace? So anything, what is it that you did, your actions, because that's going to identify your expertise, your experience. And then most importantly is the result. How did your actions impact the challenge or the project that you were working on with the result for the company? Did you save money? Did you come in under budget? Did you finish the project on time? Did you, accelerate the completion date of the project that you were working on that originally or initially was going to be, 6 months overdue? So by incorporating those three elements, the interviewer can understand what you were working on, specifically can see how you dealt with that problem, and more importantly, how you impacted the organisation. So those three key elements, developed into a very nice, concise example, will allow you to really position yourself in the best possible way and answer correctly a behavioural interview question.
I just wanted to quickly clarify that these 3 points, CAR, are the absolute fundamentals of behavioural interviewing. And I just wanted to quickly ask you the question that you've mentioned in the book as the case study. Can you just mention an example of what someone did say and how they could have done that better as it relates to the case study?
Yes, one particular question that was asked of a job candidate was, how do you handle problem clients? And to which the job seeker replied, well, I don't have any problem clients. And so, unfortunately, he was not, put forward in the running. He was sort of declined. So when he went back to the recruiter, she said, well, why did you answer in that way? He said, well, look, I don't have any problem clients because of the fact that I've implemented some key processes on how to address and handle clients that come forward with concerns and problems. And so through doing that, myself and the staff who also follow this principle ensures that any complaints and any client that is concerned turns into an ambassador for our organisation because of the fact how we professionally handle and respond to those complaints. And the recruiter said, well, that is how you should have answered the question on how you address with problem clients. And so that is how you respond to a behavioural question, because by saying to an interviewer, well, I don't actually have any problem clients, doesn't allow them to see how you've handled that in the past. So therefore, it doesn't determine how you will handle a problem situation if a client rings in the future with a complaint.